Good morning, students. As we know, in the last class, we studied about or we started the chapter number 4.1, that is the rise of new religion. In the last class, we discussed about all the factors which is related or responsible for the rise of new religion. And today we are going to we are going to discuss the religion, which are these two religion who come into existence in India in the 6th century. Let us see which are these two religions. Among the first one, that is the Jainism. And in this point, we are going to discuss about the founder of Jainism and one of the important the teachings and also the early life of that the person, or especially that is the Mahavira, the early life of Mahavira, and also the teachings of Mahavira, or also we can call as the teachings of Jainism. With this, we are also going to discuss about the spread of these religions, sects of these religions, and also one more, that is the contribution of this religion to the art and architecture. These are some of the points we are going to discuss in this point. Let us see the Jainism. We know that India, it is called as the museum of religions. Many religions. So India is whatever the Hindu religion, it is one of the biggest religion of India. But among with this, there is also other religions, people also living in India, and that's why the India is called as the museum of religions. Among this religion, Jainism is also one of the oldest religion of our India, originated in our India. According to, means the Jain people or the Jain religion believed on one of the tradition. That tradition is a tradition of Tirthankara. So, tradition of Tirthankara. According to the Jain religion, there were 24 Tirthankaras. So, how many Tirthankaras? 24 Tirthankaras in Jain religion. Among that, the Rishabhnath, who is called as the first Tirthankara of Jain religion, or also we call as the founder of Jain religion. Many times we make the mistakes. So if I ask the question that is who is the founder of Jainism, but you should not write the Mahavira, you should write Rishabhnath, who is called as the first Tirthankara, and also what he was the founder of this Jain religion, founder of Jainism. Apart from this, Parshvanatha, who is called as known as 23rd Tirthankaras of Jainism. So 23rd Tirthankara of Jainism. And with this, the Mahavira, who was called as the 24th and the last Tirthankara of Jainism. So like this, we are not going to discuss all the 24 Tirthankaras, but only the Rishabhnatha was the founder or the first Tirthankara, second one the Parshvanatha, and the 23rd Tirthankara, and the last one, that is the 20 Mahavira, who is called as the 24th Tirthankaras. And as we know, in the previous year, in the first year, PUC first year, we discussed about the two religions. So that is the Christianity and also another one Islam. And in that, every religion, so they have their own symbol. So every religion, they have their own symbol. Like that's the Hinduism, who is the Om is the symbol of Hinduism. Like the same only, the swastika is the symbol, religious symbol of our Jainism or the Jain religion. According to the Parshvanatha, who has attained the supreme knowledge, whatever the Parshvanatha, who is called as the 24th Tirthankara, no, he was attained the supreme knowledge in the age of 30. So at the age of 30, that Parshvanatha, who has attained the supreme knowledge, highest knowledge, or the spiritual knowledge, that was attained by the Parshvanatha. And he was preached the four great principles, among that the Ahimsa. So already that is the Satya, Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, and aparigraha. So whatever ahimsa, satya, asteya and aparigraha. So these are the 4 great principles which was taught by our Pashwanatha, who was called as the 23rd Tirthankara. So in detail we are going to discuss in the another one point, but he was taught this 4 great principle of Jaina religion. It's one of the smallest introduction of our Jainism, but we are not going to discuss about the full life of our Rishabhnatha, who was the first founder or the first Tirthankara and also the founder of religion. We are going to discuss about in detail about the 24th Tirthankara and one of the most important Tirthankaras among the 24 Tirthankaras, that is the Vardhamana Mahavira. So we are going to study about the early life of Vardhamana Mahavira, that is the teachings of Vardhamana Mahavira. Like in the previous year we discussed that is the teachings of Prophet Muhammad and also our Jesus Christ. Like the same only here also we are going to discuss about the early life of the Vardhamana Mahavira, where he was born, who were the parents, and where he was attained the supreme knowledge. So that all the points with this the teachings also we are going to discuss. So ನೋಡಿ, ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಕೊನೆಯ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮದ ಉದಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಯಾವುದು ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿರುವಂಥ 6ನೇ ಶತಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತಹ ಹೊಸ ಧರ್ಮನಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಜೈನ ಧರ್ಮ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈ ಜೈನ ಧರ್ಮ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಒಂದು ಹಳೆಯ ಧರ್ಮನಾಗಿದೆ. ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಿರುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಧರ್ಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹಳೆಯ ಧರ್ಮನಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಈ ಜೈನ ಧರ್ಮದ 24 ತೀರ್ಥಂಕರಾಜ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇದೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಷಭನಾಥ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ತೀರ್ಥಂಕರ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರು ಜೈನ ಧರ್ಮದ ಸ್ಥಾಪಕನಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾರ್ಶ್ವನಾಥ ಅವರು 23rd ತೀರ್ಥಂಕರಾಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಮಹಾವೀರ ಕೊನೆಯ ಅಥವಾ 24th ತೀರ್ಥಂಕರಾಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿಕ ಈ ಧರ್ಮದ ಒಂದು ಚಿಹ್ನೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಧರ್ಮದ ತನ್ನದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಚಿಹ್ನೆ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ಥರ ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿಕ ಈ ಧರ್ಮದ ಒಂದು ಧಾರ್ಮಿಕ ಚಿಹ್ನೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವರು ಅಥವಾ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಪಾರ್ಶ್ವನಾಥ್ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಹಿಂಸಾ, ಸತ್ಯ, ಅಸ್ಥೇಯ, ಅಪರಿಗ್ರಹ ಈ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾದ ತತ್ವಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಬೋಧಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಥರ ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ವರ್ಧಮಾನ್ ಮಹಾವೀರ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಅ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಲೈಫ್. ಸೊ ದ ವರ್ಧಮಾನ್ ಮಹಾವೀರ ವಾಸ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ 599 BC. So who was born when in 599 BCE at the Kundal near Vaishali. See, now it is in Bihar, in that Bihar state, that is one of the place that is the Kundal. So in that Kundal nearest to the Vaishali, so that our Vardhamana Mahavira or the 24th Tirthankara of Jain religion who was born in 599 BC. So as he was not, whenever he was born, he was not a common the child, he was a prince. It means we can understand he was a prince. It means his parents should be the king and the queen. Let us see who were the parents, who was the father and the mother of Vardhamana Mahavira. So that already I told you, whenever the Vardhamana Mahavira was born, that time he was prince. It means his father and mother should be the king. Okay. Here the father, the king Siddhartha. So his father, no, whatever he was a king, his name is his name is what? Siddhartha, and the queen Trishela Devi were the parents of our Vardhaman Mahavira. 2 marks question be asked for this. 2 marks question be asked for this. Write parents of Vardhamana Mahavira. Write the names of parents of Mahavira or the Vardhaman Mahavira. Okay, you can write the father, the Siddhartha, and the one more, that is the Trishila Devi were the parents of this Mahavira. Apart from this, the Siddhartha, who was the head, see, already I told you. So, Siddhartha, who was the father, no, who was the head of a Kshatriya clan. Who was the head of a Kshatriya clan. Apart from this, as no Vardhaman. So, after some years, at the age of 18, so at the age of 18, Mahavira or Vardhaman Mahavira, who was married, see, at that time, so they get married at early age compared to the today's situation. Okay, at the age of 18, he was married one of the princess by name, that is our Yashodha, or the we can call as the Yashodhara. So he was married with the princess Yashoda or Yashodhara. We can call as the both names also. Here after that, after some years, he had a daughter by name, that is the Anuj or the Priyadarshini. So they had the daughter by name, that is the Anuj or a Priyadarshini. But one more thing we have to think about this. So apart from this, all he was the princess, everything was available in his, means every luxurious life he was living. But why he was renounced everything? Why he was leave this everything whatever the state, and he was become ascetic, he was become a sannyasi? What happened? Which event happened in his life? Or which event took place in his life, and that's why he was renounced, he was leaved everything that is the worldly life. See, after some years, so the sudden death of his parents, means who parents? Siddhartha and the Trishila Devi. Sudden death. So sudden death of his parents, he was shocked and he was renounced, he was decided to renounce this all the luxurious life. As he was, everything is our money is whatever the, as he was king, the everything whatever the servants is available. So the biggest palace is here, in that palace he was living, so everything is available, power he had, so everything is available. But he was he was renounced his life. Why? Because of the sudden death of his parents, sudden death of Siddhartha and Trishila Devi. And after that, he was renounced his worldly life or the luxurious life, and he was started to find out the truth of the life. What is the truth of this life? Whatever the in our life we are facing the different sorrows, different unhappiness in our life, then what is the truth of life? For that purpose, he was renounced his life and he started to find out the truth of life. Next 13 years, means after the death of his parent, after he was renounced his worldly life, next 30 years he was wandering place to place, one place to another one place, with the self-mortification. You know, what do you mean by self-mortification? To keep away from all the sensual desires. So there is a senses, no, that is our ears, eyes, whatever the tongue, these are all the senses. We should be keep away from this all the sensual desires, that is called as the self-mortification. But after the some time here on the 10th day of Vaishakha, 10th day of Vaishakha, Vaishakha it is the month. So in our Hindu Panchang or in the Hindu calendar, there is also another one month, Chaitra, Vaishakha, so like this. And nowadays we are not using this, we are using that is the January, February. So here in the month of Vaishakha, I think it's May month. So in the month of Vaishakha, on the 10th day of Vaishakha month, he was attained the supreme knowledge. So whatever the Vardhaman Mahavira is done, he was attained the supreme knowledge, that is called as Kevilin. So the knowledge which was attained by the Mahavira at the Jimbika Grama in Bihar. Nowadays the Jimbika Grama. So at this Jimbika Grama, he was attained the supreme knowledge. He was enlightened. So he was enlightened. So at this Jimbika Grama in the Bihar state, whatever he had the supreme knowledge which is called as the Kaivalya and become a Kevalina. So whatever the Mahavira was attained the supreme knowledge, no, that knowledge is called as the Kaivalya, and also one more, or he was become a Kevalina, or we can call as the Jina, which means that is the conqueror who had the subdues his passion. So whatever he was attained the call, that is a Jina. It means that is the conqueror, the person who conqueror on his sensual desires. So whatever we have the desire, the senses, whatever the eyes, ears, they have the many desires, no, on that sensual desire he was a conqueror. He was a conqueror on the all the sensual desires, and also we can call as a conqueror on the all the his passion. Okay, so apart from this, thereafter he was come to know, after whenever, before that means before the attaining the supreme knowledge, no, before attaining the supreme knowledge he was called as the Vardhaman Mahavira. Then after the attaining his supreme knowledge he was called as the Mahavira. So after that he was called as the Mahavira. Apart from this, he was traveled. So next 30 years after the whatever he was attained the supreme knowledge, no, next 30 years he was traveled from place to place for preaching his principle, whatever the principle of Jain religion, no, he was spreading or the preaching his principle from place to place, and after that here especially he was travel in the Koshala, Magadha, Videha and also Anga. So these are all states, whatever today we call as a different cities, no, during that time the Anga, Videha, Magadha, these are the small kingdoms, small states in our India, and in every kingdom he was travel for the spread of religion to preach his principle of Jain religion or the Jainism. Apart from this, and he was attained the Nirvana. So he was attained the Nirvana at the Pava near Rajgraha. So at the Pava near Rajgraha, so at the age of 72, at the age of 72 the Mahavira was attained the Nirvana, so at the Pava nearest to the Rajgraha. But we know, you know that already I told you in the last class what there are two religions come into existence in India in the 6th century. So the first one is Jainism and second one the Buddhism. So both the founder or both here the 24th Tirthanka and the one more that is the founder we call as the Gautam Buddha or the Buddha. So the Gautam Buddha and Mahavira were the contemporary, means they are lived at the same age, but they did not meet in his whole life. So both people did not meet each other in his whole life. Whatever he was, means the Vardhaman Mahavira was established the religious order which is open for the both men and also the women's. Apart from this, he was accepted, that is the principle or the teachings of Parshvanatha as the basis of Jainism. See, whatever the Parshvanatha was taught, the four principle, no, that four principle were accepted by the Vardhaman Mahavira as the principle of Jaina religion. In the point to point we are going to discuss about that only in the point of teachings of Mahavira. So this is on the early life of the Mahavira. Whatever the Mahavira who was called as the 24th Tirthankara, it is the early life of the Mahavira. So Mahavira ಅವರು ವರ್ಧಮಾನ್ ಮಹಾವೀರ ಅವರ ಆರಂಭಿಕ ಜೀವನ ನೋಡಿದರೆ, ಸೊ ಕುಂದಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ನಿಯರ್ ವೈಶಾಲಿಯ ಸಮೀಪನಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಕುಂದಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ 599 BCಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಅಂದರೆ ವರ್ಧಮಾನ್ ಮಹಾವೀರ ಅವರು ಜನಿಸಿದರು. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಅವರು ಸಿದ್ಧಾರ್ಥ ಮತ್ತು ತ್ರಿಶೈಲಾದೇವಿ ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದು. ಅದೇ ಥರ 18ನೇ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಯಶೋಧ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರಿ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ವಿವಾಹನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆನಂತರ ಅನೋಜ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಿಯದರ್ಶಿನಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಮಗಳನ್ನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಸೊ ಆದರೆ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಮೃತ್ಯು ಕಾರಣ, ತನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಮೃತ್ಯು ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಂದ ಸೊ ಮಹಾವೀರವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಡ್ಲಿ ಲೈಫನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಐಹಿಕ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ತ್ಯಜಿಸಿ ತನ್ನ ಬಟ್ಟೆಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆ ಐಹಿಕ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ತ್ಯಾಗವನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ರಿನೌನ್ಸನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಆನಂತರ ಸುಮಾರು 13 ವರ್ಷ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವದೇಹ ದಂಡನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಮಾರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಈ 13 ವರ್ಷವನ್ನು ಕಳೆದ ನಂತರ ಅವರು ಜಿಂಬಿಕಾ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಆ ನಂತರ ಸುಮಾರು 30 ವರ್ಷ ಅವರು ತನ್ನ ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನು, ಜೈನ ಧರ್ಮದ ತತ್ವಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಸಾರ ಮಾಡುವಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆದರು. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಪಾವಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜಗುರು ಸಮೀಪನಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಪಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಅಟ್ ದ ಏಜ್ ಆಫ್ 72 ಅವರು ನಿರ್ವಾಣವನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ದ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಧಮಾನ್ ಮಹಾವೀರ. ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಹಾವೀರ. ವಿಚ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ taught by the Mahavira? Already I told you in the last class that the people become very disappointed, dissatisfied of related to that existed religion. Okay, here now the people wanted what they wanted, the people. So the people wanted a new spiritual order, which is a very simple. Then what is the simple in this life, in this religion? Let us say that is the teachings of Mahavira, or we can call it the teachings of our Jaina religions, especially that he was preached the two types of the principles. The first one, that is the 5 great vows, and also one more, the 3 jewels, or the tirthanas we call as. So let us see among the first one, that is the teaching the Satya, which means that is the truth. What it means? So whatever the Mahavira who has preached this all the principle, among that first one, that is the Satya, or we can call as the truth. It means that every person in our life, many times we become unhappy because we follow the wrong way. We follow the wrong way, or we speak untruth or the false. That's why. But here, according to the Mahavira, every person, so every follower of Jainism, and also every person, they should be follow the path of truth. Every person should be speak truth, or we can call as the Satya. So this is one of the first principle of our Jain religion. So there is no any necessary to explain about the in detail about that. We should write only the these all the principles. Okay. Next one, that is the Ahimsa. That is the most important principle of our Jain religion. That is the Ahimsa, or we can call as the non-violence. According to the Mahavira, so that Mahavira is believed on this principle. He was given more stress on this principle. Why? Because according to him, in every aspect, what we can call as, for example, the plants, animals, air, fire, or the stones, mud. So in these also there is a life. In these things also there is a life, and we should not injure these things. We should not be follow the non-violence path. We should not be kill any animal, or also we can call as the plants. We should not give an injury to the fire. We should not give injury to the all the air, and also the stones, soil. See how he was the greatest. So we can understand on this principle, that is Ahimsa, the non-violence. Asteya, not stealing. So ಕಳ್ತನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಏನು, we should not be steal anything. Whatever are the things, whatever it include any product or any knowledge, we should be asteya. We should not be steal anything. Aparigraha, that is the non-possession of property more than required. Nowadays we can see here, it's a very important. Here, according to the Mahavira, we should be possess the property, but we should not be possess the property more than required. Some people, they have the lakhs of people, crores of amount, or whatever the property. That much of property is not required, and if he have that property, he was not become as happy. He was become unhappy because he was possessed the property more than required. So that's why here asteya, the person or the individual should not be possess the property more than required, more than necessary. So The one more, the fourth one, the principle, and the chastity, that is the brahmacharya or brahmacharya, which is called as the chastity, so that every person should be follow the brahmacharya or the chastity according to the our Vardhamana Mahavira. So this is a one more, and apart from this there is a 3 jewels also, that the right among the first one, that is the right knowledge. So ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಥವಾ ಸಮ್ಯಕ್ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So that the every person there is a knowledge of different things, whatever in our life there is a different type of the knowledge we have everywhere, but we should be have a good knowledge, the right knowledge of our religion, right knowledge of our whatever the our professions, or right knowledge of our the principle. So according to this, that is the right knowledge. The right faith, it means we should be believe, we should be faith on our the principle of Jainism, or the principle of Jaina religion, that is the right faith, the right conduct. Right is the conduct is nothing but the right work. Whatever we are conducting, we are working, whatever we are become the farmer, we are become the engineer or doctor or any other thing, you should be follow the right or the good work or good path in his profession or the work. So that is a right conduct. So these are some of the teachings of our Vardhamana Mahavira. So this is the early life and also the teachings of Mahavira. One more thing, that is the spread of Jainism. The Jainism at the beginning, so it is very confined to the some state, that is the Anga, Magadha, Videha, so Koshala, among this only it's confined. But after that, after the foundation of Mauryans, that the Chandragupta Maurya, who was accepted the Jainism, apart from this some other states also, other many kings of our India who accepted the Jain religion, who become a followers of Jainism. So and they spread this religion in the different parts of our India, especially Chandragupta Maurya, who was become a follower of Jainism, and in his last days of Chandragupta Maurya, he was leave the North India and come to the our South India, especially at the Shramana Belgora, and here he was performed the whatever that is Sallekana, and he was died. Apart from this, the Gangas and also the Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, so these are also people become followers of Jain religion, and they spread the religion in the different parts of our India, like Karnataka, Gujarat, and also the Rajasthan. ಧರ್ಮ ಪ್ರಸಾರ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಆರಂಭವಾಗಿ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸೀಮಿತವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನು ನಂತರವಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ದೊರೆಗಳನ್ನು ಈ ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಸ್ವೀಕಾರ ಮಾಡುವ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಈ ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಭಾರತ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರ ಪ್ರಸಾರವನ್ನು ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ our Jainism. One more thing, that is the Jain Council. So there are mainly 2 Jain Council were held in the ancient time. Among the first one, that is the first Jain Council, which was held in 300 BCE. So in the 300 BCE at Pataliputra, so which is the capital city of our Mauryans. At that Pataliputra, the first council was held. What is the main purpose of this Jain council, or the first Jain council? So it was collected and reviving the knowledge of a sacred Jain text. Whatever the Jain sacred books are there, texts are there, so they collected all these books and they reviving. So they revived that all the sacred books or the holy books of Jain religion at this what we call the first council. The second council was held at Vallabhi in Gujarat. Nowadays in this it is in Gujarat, about the 512. So 512 C. So in this 512 CE, this second council was held at Vallabhi in Gujarat. Here that all the text collected and written systematic. Whatever the sacred books are there, whatever the old books of Jain religion, they are collected, and this all books they wrote very systematically in this the second council which was held in 512 CE. Okay, next one point, that is the sects of our Jain religion or the Jainism, sects of Jain religion. So there was two sects, means after, because of the different opinion among the religion, the Jain religion was divided into the two sects. Among the first one, that is the Svetambara, and the second one is the Digambara. So first one is the Svetambara, second one is Digambara. The 2 marks question will ask for this. Which are the two or the right two sects of Jainism or Jain religion? The first one you can write the Svetambara, and the second one the Digambara. Svetambara means what? The followers of Parshvanatha, and who wear the white cloths. The followers of Parshvanatha, who was called as the 23rd Tirthankara, they are called, he was called as the what? The Svetambara. Digambara means the follower of Mahavira, and who were not wear any clothes. So that is Mahavira, or the followers of Mahavira, that is the Digambara, second the principle, second sect. Apart from this, the Jain literature. So whole Jain literature, which is called as the Agama Siddhanta, which is called as one of the holy text, holy book of our Jain religion. So in every religion they have their own Jain text, no, like the same only. Agama Siddhanta was the holy text of Jainism, and it was divided among the 14 texts. Among the 12 texts of this Agama Siddhanta, there is the teachings of Mahavira was contained, and here both Svetambara and Digambara accepted the 12 text or the 12 text, or we can call as the 12 Angas, become a first and foremost religious text of our Jainism. And here this is under Jain literature. And the last one, that is the contribution of Jainism to the art and architecture. Like this, the Jain religion was given one of the contributions also in the field of art and architectures, because of the many the kings who patronized to the Jainism, they built many caves and also bastis in the different parts of our India, or different parts of their states. Among that first one, that is the Tiger Cave at Udayagiri. First one, one of the greatest contribution of Jain religion in the field of art and architecture. Second one, that is the Indra Sabha cave at Ellora, and Hastigumpa cave at Orissa. These are the all the three contributions are the greatest contributions of our Jainism in the field of art and architecture. Among this all, one of the important architectural structure, or one of the important architectural monuments also existed in our Karnataka. Here the famous statue of Gomteshwara at Shravanbelagula, the famous statue of Gomteshwara at Shravanbelagula was also 1000 pillar basti at Moodbidre are the noteworthy in our Karnataka. So these are the two monuments also built by our Jain religion or related to the Jain religion, which is existed in our Karnataka. So this is and the Jainism. So today we have discussed about the background of Jain religion, and also the important one of the Tirthankara of Jainism and his teaching. With this, there is a spread of religion, contribution of art and architecture of Jain religion, sects of Jain religion, and also the spread of Jainism, Jain religion. So these are all the points we discussed in this class, and in the next class we are going to start one more the religion, that is Buddhism. Thank you.